You all set?
You are all set, sir.
Okay, I'd like to call a meeting, the Park and Rec Board for Tuesday, September 15th. Time is 7:01.
I don't think we have a quorum, do we?
Can we have the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Good evening, everyone.
I think. Hold for me, please. Hold for me, please. It took a second to get the stream going. We're just getting started now.
Let's see. What do we have, Don? I can't tell.
You
I
are
don't think we
all
have a
set to go.
quorum. There's me, Jay, Eileen, and Billy.
Good evening. Welcome to the Town of Newington Conservation Commission.
So we need two more.
Yeah, Ed said he was going.
First call to order, Ms. Givens, please call.
Ed said he was gonna go. I'll call Ed.
Only the third,
I'll text Jen.
Okay.
huh?
Where are we at? I'm sorry.
Philip Block?
We need two more people for a quorum, James.
Okay.
Okay. You want to wait?
Yeah, I think we should wait a little bit. Maybe, Jay, do you know anybody that might be able to make it?
Is Roberta on?
I don't.
Byron? No, she's not on. I thought she's coming on phone.
There was somebody phone, now they're gone.
Okay.
How do you tell?
Right there. Is she ends up 578, her last three digits?
Yeah, someone just joined.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
She should be
Roberta?
able to unmute herself. Not a problem. Hit
My
star
phone?
6.
Jay, do you know her phone number?
No.
Star 6, Roberta, if you can hear us.
Oh, it's Ed.
Oh, it's Ed.
Yeah, let me tell him he's muted. Hold on.
My screen says there's 9 participants.
Right, but James is on as one.
Yeah.
One.
And
Yeah,
Tim and me don't vote, and Bill don't vote.
So that means there's 3 other people.
Yeah, that's true, huh? We're,
No, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
oh, Ed is on. Okay, so we're down one. We just need one more person.
There's
I
5.
I texted Jen, but didn't get a reply yet.
Yeah, I just told Ed he's on mute.
Okay. How about Roberta? Does anybody know Roberta's phone number?
I do not.
How about the two brothers?
I don't have.
No, I don't have their number either.
Yes, Jen's dialing in late. I'll tell her we need a quorum.
Well, tell her to dial in and just hang out.
Hey, James. Can James unmute Ed? I don't know if he's there.
I'm trying to. If he's on his phone, if he tries star 6, it should unmute him.
All right, let me try.
There he goes.
He's done.
You
Because
there, Ed?
Roberta in her email said she was going to attend.
Yep, I saw that.
I think I saw that. We just need one more.
Well, can Jen just go on, Ed? I mean, Billy?
I texted her and asked her if she could do it now because we need a quorum. One more for a quorum.
Right. She could start the meeting and actually either not participate or leave, I think is okay.
Does that count for quorum if you leave the meeting?
I do believe it does.
Mm-mm.
Somebody's.
I don't think so.
Hello.
Jen's on now.
Okay, Jen.
Or
Good job.
trying. She's trying now.
Bill?
We got a quorum now?
Maybe.
I think you do.
Yeah.
Jen.
Somebody's connecting. Yep.
5,
Yeah.
7, 8.
Yeah.
We have a
7 out of
quorum.
11, you're good.
Okay, I'm going to start the meeting for Park and Rec Board for Tuesday, September 15th, 2020. It's now 7:05.
Yeah,
We have the, what, can we
Jen's-
start the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
no, we can now. You're unmuted.
Okay.
You were muted.
Okay. You got me?
Okay?
Okay?
Thanks. All right.
Sorry, did we finish pledge? I'm sorry.
No, we didn't even start it yet. Can we start Pledge of Allegiance
Yes, I pledge of allegiance
to the
to the
flag
flag
of
The United States of America.
America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I'm going to do the roll call. Don Woods,
Here.
Billy de Blasio,
Here.
Jay Vitalico here. Roberta, no. Jen, you on?
Yeah, I'm on. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
Arlene
Here. I'm here.
Francolino,
Yep.
Anthony Kowalski, Ed Mashan,
Here.
okay. Matt Kolowski, Nicole Payne, Mike Karanian, Carol Ennis,
Here.
and Tim Mikey,
Thank you. Here.
and Mr. DeMayo.
Yes, here.
Okay, so we got a quorum. Okay, the first thing is the approval of the minutes for July 21st, 2020. Is there any additions or subtractions or corrections?
Make a motion, we approve the minutes as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that passes. Public participation. Do we have any?
At this point, we have no public attending.
Okay. Correspondence, Bill, anything?
I think there was wasn't there a card, a couple thank you cards?
Yeah.
Couple senior citizens that were very happy with the pool and with the concerts, and a couple tree, nice. I said no to chopping a tree down because it was private property, but she thanked us for letting her know.
There you are.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Bill. Okay, a summary report, the monthly report for August 2020.
Yeah, there's nothing really out of the ordinary except that everything related to COVID-19. You know, it's
Yeah.
just kind of been in all over the place, changing, scheduling, rescheduling, changing, scheduling.
And the tree warden report. Cutting down trees or what?
Yeah, we had, I think the hurricane was what, August, right? So we have a ton of tree complaints and a ton of tree, a list. We have probably 27 emergency trees and I'd say 50 to 100 complaints about trees. And just to let you know, like, we don't have a dedicated tree crew. So we only patch one together. So when it comes time for hurricanes, it makes it very, very difficult for us to respond at the speed level that people want.
Okay, that takes care. Any old business, Bill, that we got to cover?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's quick. Okay, under new business, the CRPA award nominations.
Yep, the CRPA stands for the Connecticut Recreation and Parks Association, and we like to try to nominate people in Newington to get state recognition. So we've put together a couple package, a package for it. I think, did Lisa give you the write-ups on it? I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, she
Yes.
did.
Yeah, she
One
did.
of them is, and we don't want to embarrass Billy de Blasio, but one is one of your own commission board members. So we're putting him forward. As you probably know, Don Woods won it in 2016. Time flies when you're having fun, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Eileen won it too.
But and Eileen won last year. That's right. Exactly.
Here.
Yeah. 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago already?
Yep.
Holy cow. So, yeah. So anyways, we try to do that to recognize people for the volunteerism and all the good things that they do in Newington. And we try to make sure we compete with every Parks and Rec department in the state. And we want to be in the forefront at all times. So no guarantees, of course. The competition is 169 towns, so it's not easy, but at least it's our thanks and appreciation goes out to these people.
Well deserved, Billy.
Yeah, good job, Billy.
Thanks.
Good job, Bill.
Thank you.
Keep
Hey,
up
hey,
the good
Bill.
work there, Billy.
I'll try.
Bill DeMayo.
Yes.
Will they have the luncheon or no? Not this year.
Oh,
Well, they normally have about 350, 400 people at a luncheon at Mohegan Sun at our state 2-day conference. It's still planning, but they're also making a plan B for virtual. I can't see for the life of me that they could ever have a conference in November live at Mohegan Sun. That just seems like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
They could just credit our cards and we'll go anyway.
That's a plan.
Yeah, win, lose, or draw, right, Billy? It doesn't matter. We're going.
Yeah.
We'll have the loser blackjack table.
Yeah.
Double down
Yeah.
on green, Billy.
Oh, boy. The next thing on the new business is how can I help Newington in the bottles and can drive?
Yeah, this is usually I go on vacation and try to come up with one new good idea for the town. And this year it's how can I help Newington? And it's something that came from, stimulated from Jack Morgan, a good friend of many of you. Wonderful guy. I understand he had a knee replacement today. But what we're trying to do is put a shed at the Churchill Park back parking lot where the stone parking lot is, and have a sign and have a nonprofit organization each month benefit by getting these cans. So if you collect cans and don't want to go to Stop and Shop and put them in one at a time and collect your $10 or whatever it is, you could just take your bag, drive to Churchill any time of day, 7 days a week, throw it in the shed, and we'll nominate one nonprofit organization per month. So if it was, say, a Boy Scout troop for Tim Mankey's purposes, and 347, they get January, say, and all the bottles and cans get collected in the shed. We have a sign that says this month's cans donation goes to Boy Scouts. 75% goes to Boy Scouts, 25% goes to the Life Being Extravaganza fireworks show. And we give them a combination to the thing. And on the 30th of the month, they open it up, they fill up their truck, they drive to, say, South Windsor, West Hartford, or New Britain, and dump them at a recycle center, collect the money, and everybody's happy. It's a win-win situation. Our park guys will steam clean the shed as needed, so it doesn't smell or anything. But I think the real big advantage, there's several advantages, but one of the biggest ones for me is keeping the parks clean, recycling, good for the environment. And especially at Churchill, if you have 14 or 15,000 picnickers and everybody has one bottle of soda or beer, or you can't have bottles, but plastic bottles, and they just go down and empty the garbage next to the dumpster, and right next to the dumpster is the shed. They stick it in there, and it's simple, easy peasy, and everybody's a winner. So that's the game plan. The Rotary Club has already indicated that they'll take any months that nobody wants. So that's kind of neat. So there's some interest there, and there's some interest with people already wanting to bring cans and bottles. So I suspect, I don't know, December, January, February, March, maybe a slow time to start it. But I suspect soon as the picnics start, I think it'll be really a really fun project.
I think I could fill the shed myself right now.
Well then, okay, so just let us know. We'll help you fill it.
There
Hey,
you
Jay,
go.
Can we backtrack on the CRPA award nomination? I just
Yes.
noticed we
Yeah,
have a
we have to
motion.
read the motion.
Yeah.
Oh,
Someone read
Okay,
the motion?
I'll do it. I'll make a motion to approve the CRPA nomination to be submitted by the Parks and Rec Supervisor and Superintendent.
second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, passes.
so you know what we better do for Ashley, because she's not at the meeting. We better say who said the motion and who seconded it, just for her purposes.
Oh, it's Jennifer Wynne Johnson.
Yep.
Made the motion.
Don Woods, second.
Don would second it.
Great. Thank you, guys.
How big is the shed, Bill?
How big is the shed? It's we got it from Home Depot, and it's 8 by 10.
Nice.
And we're gonna cut a hole, a door in it, just like you would see at one of those clothing things where you pick it up, but it have a strong spring on it to close it. If someone wants to steal, they could probably, and God bless them if they need it that bad. But otherwise, it should work out okay.
Good idea.
Thank you.
So
Then we have another motion for the bottle and can drive. Someone
I can
want to read the motion?
I can read the motion. Jennifer Wynne Johnson would like to make a motion to accept the How Can I Help Bottle and Can Reimburse program located at Church Hill Park.
Thanks,
Second.
Jen. Who seconded it? Billy?
Billy.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, Bill, part-time and seasonal pay plan?
Yep. So as many of you know, we have hundreds, I think over 200 part-timers and seasonals throughout the year. And every year we have this pay plan. So that way it's not willy-nilly the way you pay people, and everybody has something to shoot for if you're a lifeguard or a camp counselor, whatever. But we have to keep updating it. In the plan, it's supposed to automatically update based on the state minimum wage. But I did want to just bring it to your attention and bring it for a vote, just so that you, one, know about it, two, can review it, and three, endorse it or support our young people getting the money and the hourly rates that they are.
What's the minimum right now for the state, Bill?
September 1st, it went to $12.
Okay.
So just to let everyone know, this probably impacts our budget to the tune of about, every time they go up, and they're doing it for every year for 5 years, it's about $45,000, what I figured out last year. So it's expensive. It's so when people say, oh, your yoga class went up $2, well, the reason is because we have to pay our staff for it. And everything has to go up in life because of the way things are going. But if people ask you, why did something go up a small amount, it's to try to make up that difference that we kind of got shocked by.
I just wanted to put my 2 cents in. Bill and I already talked about this, that, the wages for the young people are really not in keeping with the surrounding towns. And you can go and work at Target and make $3 an hour more than you can working for the town of Newington, which, whatever, the Parks and Rec jobs have always been great. Working outside is nice, but we don't want our kids going to Weathersfield or going to New Britain or going to Berlin or whatever to make more money, because then we're going to end up with the B team working, and we don't want that. We want the best kids to stay here. So I think there's going to come a time that we need to play catch up and boost our pay rates. I understand it's a hard time. I understand our budget is tight, but eventually we're going to have to make a jump and keep up with our neighbors.
I agree.
Okay, there's a motion. Someone want to read the motion for the part-time and seasonal pay plan?
Didn't
I'll
we already
read it.
vote on this? Didn't we vote on this over the phone?
You did on, by email, but I said in my email that we would formally confirm it at a meeting.
Got it.
I'll make a motion, it's Billy. We approve the part-time seasonal pay plan due to the minimum wage increase.
Seconded by,
I'll second.
Jen, I'll
Second it, Mark.
second it. Oh, go ahead, Don.
No, go ahead, Jen. I'm fine. Jen.
I'll
Jen,
second it.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, next is the mayor ball.
Yep,
In
If you want-
conjunction with the 150th anniversary committee.
yeah, so just to let everyone know, the town manager has asked me to help out with Eileen's 150th. She's the chairperson of the 150th anniversary. So I just want people to know why I'm getting involved. And Eileen has a great, wonderful committee. We've been meeting, and I think basically the couple things that we're going to be able to do is provide staff support from the Parks and Recreation Department at a few things. That was the daffodil bulb thing, the mayor's ball, and things like the parade and parties in the park. But Eileen has other things too, the calendars and historical things and cemetery tours. And I don't want to take too much thunder from Eileen, so I'm going to just say that I just wanted to let you know that we're actively working together, Parks and Recreation and the 150th Anniversary Committee, to help the town celebrate all its activities.
I'd just like to say, yes, we really appreciate the help of Parks and Recreation. The purpose of the mayor's ball, and that's spelled wrong on there. It's supposed to be mayor's S apostrophe because it's supposed to be all our mayors that we're supposed to be honoring at this ball. So what we would like to do is invite all our past mayors as well as our present mayor and have this big party to commemorate and honor their service to the town. And we wanted to do something that was not too high scale, so it wouldn't be unaffordable because we are appreciative of the economic times we're in. But we wanted to make it nice. So we're going to work with Bill and we're going to work together to come up with something that'll be good. We're going to try to showcase the new gyms. Hopefully they'll be open and ready to go. May 1st is kind of just a target date. We haven't really settled on a date yet because of COVID-19. We're not really sure. Originally, we were going to do it in January to start off the year, but then we decided that was too risky because everybody talks about a influx over the winter and flu and all of that. So we were kind of pushing it to the spring, but we'll come up with a date soon. And once we get a little further and figure out what's going on.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
How far back are you going with mayors?
Only living ones.
Yeah.
Well, there's one missing.
Who?
Rob Randich.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, that's right.
I typed him in. That's just a typographical mistake. We knew that. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll fix that, and I'll fix the. Sam did it. One of our interns was responsible for the final product today, and we'll fix up those two mistakes.
Well, what about, wasn't Mary Ellen? She's
Mary
alive.
Ellen Anderson was a mayor too, and
Yeah,
she's
she was in.
On there. Yeah.
I think she's in. Isn't she in the? Didn't I list all the mayors in the news release?
no. That's why I'm looking at.
You're not looking at the flyer?
No, I'm looking at the
Look at the
release.
press release.
Yeah.
Press
Press
release, yeah,
release does not have Mary Ellen or Rob.
right.
Okay, so Lisa DeLude picked the old one. Then we have a new version of both. I will get those out to you.
Okay.
Plus, one other thing, Bill, in the flyer, it says May 1st, 2020.
Yeah, right.
Did everyone have a good time?
We need to make sure we change that to MAYORS apostrophe. So it
Yeah,
shows that
I
it's
guess.
for all the mayors. Yeah.
Yep, gotcha.
Mrs. Francolino, would you like to read the motion?
Hold on if I could find it on my phone here.
Okay, we'll
bring it.
wait. There it is on the board.
I'd like to make a motion to allow the Parks and Recreation to apply for a liquor permit for the Mayor's Ball, date to be determined due to COVID-19.
Second it by Billy.
Billy, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, everyone.
Yep. The next thing, Bill, is the ball field at Mill Pond.
Okay, do you want me to explain it, Jay?
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay, so Jay and Don from your commission represent you at the Mill Pond Building Committee. We met last night, and as we discussed with geotech people and surveyors and the TLB architect, we found out that there's this big 36-inch sewer main going through the middle of the park, basically down the path of Mill Pond Park. That we thought originally was smaller, and we thought that we could move it or deflect it a little bit. That it's not coming through to MDC. So what we're looking at is studying what's underground and be very clear and specific at what we want to do. Probably, with all likelihood, 99% chance is we can't have the pool and the splash pad near the bus garage and to the north of the Mill Pond, and we'd have to move it eastward. And moving it eastward would get into the foul territory of the baseball field. Now, the baseball field is hardly used at all. Basically, the only people that use it is the freshman high school baseball team for practice, and when they can't get on Legends or Alumni, when both JV and varsity are practicing or playing, but when they're away, the freshmen play on those fields. So it's underutilized, and it's much more of a burden than it is a asset to us. And as the committee talked last night, they wanted to know if the Parks and Rec Board would allow us or consider us alleviating the baseball field and moving, if the committee decides to move it eastward, so that way it would be safe, and then make just big, giant, multi-purpose playing fields at Mill, and we could stripe them and paint them any way we needed it, for cricket or for adult soccer, adult flag football, adult frisbee, ultimate frisbee, or kickball, or whatever. So what we're doing tonight is going in front of the commission and asking you tonight to consider a motion that states something like, if the building committee and the architects decide that they need the space, would it be okay for the commission to approve eliminating the baseball field? So that's what's in front of you today for a motion.
I just have a quick follow-up question. So for those few times that the freshman team does use the field, what would they use going forward if the field becomes something else?
I think we'd have to better schedule. I think they just use it as a fallback. I think we would meet with Chris Myers, the athletic director, and have a better plan for JV and varsity practices and games.
That's only for freshmen, right?
Yeah, it's only for freshmen.
Bill, how often would that field be used when the pools are open?
Well, if we
only during summertime, baseball is in the springtime, right?
Yeah, the only thing is it's kind of not safe anyway to have a baseball field there, because you're walking in a park at the path or whatever, and you're always, there's no fence or anything at that park, so it becomes a pretty difficult place. But you're right, Bill, Ed. But there was a genius plan from the committee and Carol Annis to possibly utilize solar heating for an outdoor pool, and we might be able to open, say, in April and stay open till October. So it was a compromise conversation that we talked about, so that some people said, I'm only going to put a lot of money into it if it's 12 months a year. A lot of people don't like a building in the park, and I don't think that economically it makes a lot of sense, because they're expensive to run. So the compromise was, hey, if we heat the pool maybe we can open April through October. And then in that particular case, Ed, then it would interfere with spring baseball.
56%, 7:30 p.m.
Billy de Blasio, I'm curious what you think about this. You're very quiet.
I understand the process, but I hate to get rid of a big field like that. I know because I reported some deficiencies with balls going in Garfield and kids being left there unattended, but we have the soils are getting better, but it is a challenge to, the 3 teams at the high school want to use it. And then it depends on the level of use between the youth sports with Babe Ruth and Legion. Now you cut down to 2 fields. It could be a little tricky, but I guess like Bill says, it's manageable, providing everybody, gets in with the scheduling. We managed 1 gym at the community center with travel basketball and 8 teams, so we could probably figure it out.
Yeah, and remember too that hopefully everything works out. We'll have a batting cage in the gymnasium too, so maybe we can work with Chris Myers, the athletic director at the high school, and do some of that kind of work too.
Maybe, and just a thought, I know this is the first I'm hearing of it, but it might be advantageous to put like an infield somewhere where maybe 2 teams could practice at the high school instead of just being on alumni. Maybe there's a spot somewhere, all-purpose field.
Practice only, or do they play games there?
No, they practice there.
Just practice, that's all.
But no
Right
games.
now.
The freshman team?
The freshman team, where do they play?
Well,
They play in alumni or legends.
Yeah.
They don't play their games there.
No.
Oh, so we only need to find space for practice.
That's what I'm thinking. If we could make something at the high school, like just an infield even, so they can run a practice.
Do we need to make a motion on that this month?
It would be helpful because the committee is, see, first of all, the reason why you're just hearing it, Billy, is because this happened last night at 6. So I like the idea of maybe another place. I'm thinking right off the top of my head, how about, is Anna Reynolds, that 70-foot base thing, is that really, I heard that's not really being used.
No, that is, as far as I know, it never really got the full use that we thought it would, because kids just transitioned up to the big field.
So that might be the perfect location. We could put a little work into that and make it a 90-foot infield.
A while back, there was some talk about some work that might be going on there, and maybe it's back on the table with all the renovations projects, but part of it was the exit when you leave that school. And being the kids are big and strong, they're able to hit balls over the fence into the road, which is a no-no. So we were thinking of somehow redirecting that field and making home field towards the south end, I guess, of Fenn Road, like where center field is, and hit towards away from the road.
But Bill, if they're practicing, Bill, they're not going to be hitting.
Exactly. Yeah.
If they're going to be practicing, do they need an outfield to practice with outfilders? I don't
know.
No.
That's why I said maybe at the high school we could make an infield, just like even, just a backstop and a 90-foot square.
Is that something we need to talk to Chris Myers about and say, how would that impact you, and before we vote on this?
That's why I was wondering if we needed to vote.
And a limo probably would be a good one.
Because they wouldn't, have more of a feedback unless they, I don't want, will they ever come back and say, we can't make the program work if we don't have that field? Is that even,
makes sense?
Would they even say that?
I think for one, Billy, I think you could just use the open grass at Mill Pond if you really wanted to for practice. You could do throwing, obviously sliding and batting. The other thing I thought about was if we save, say, 100 and I think off the top of my head, it was like 186,000 to upgrade that baseball field. If you could even consider putting money towards putting lights at the high school or at Legends, and then you extend your existing 90-foot baseball field hours-wise, program hours-wise, And maybe that is another possible solution.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think probably talking to Coach Alimo and Mr. Myers would probably be two good inputs. I know you want an answer tonight, but I hate to be on the hook for saying, yeah, we're going to do away with the field and, you know, it's not part of their plan.
I'm kind of with Billy on this one.
I agree too.
I would have just abstained, unfortunately, for me, if there's a vote, but.
Bill, do you have the figures of how much they practiced there, let's say last season?
I just don't feel like we have enough information. I don't have enough
I'll
information.
text Alimo right now.
Yeah, I think it's probably 2 months, right? April and May, of, you know, during the week when they're practicing from 3:30 to 5:30 or something like that, 3:30 to 5.
If we put this off, Bill, can we just do it online and that way you'll have an answer before our next meeting?
Sure. Yep.
I think that's fair because I think there's several of us aren't too comfortable about taking a vote right now.
Yeah. Yep. I could understand that.
So can I make a motion that we table this?
Yes, please.
Sure. Yep.
Okay, I make a motion that we table this till next month.
That's Eileen.
Jen was second. If you need.
Do we need to take a vote?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next, let's go on to reports.
Hey, Jay.
No, we missed a few things here, but
Yeah, Jay, we got to go back to, there's a motion to accept the mayor's allow Parks and Recreation to apply for a liquor permit for the mayor's.
It-
did that.
We already did that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
need to do town hall community center renovation.
we all set, Don?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't.
Okay, that's okay.
Put the back and tonic down, Dan.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, here we go.
You're just jealous
already.
Close.
Go ahead, Bill, on the town hall committee, community center, please.
Okay, Don Woods is on that building committee. I'll defer to him and I'll fill in any blanks if he wants me to.
Sure. Okay, so our last meeting was on September 2nd. Things have been moving along pretty well. The project is still more or less on budget. We're at $30,455,606 spent so far. They have been working on, they had over 1,000 punch list items. They've got those narrowed down to around 7. And then the work in progress is obviously abatement, trying to complete the.
Wait, am I the only one that's losing audio? I
I
can't.
can't, yeah, I can't hear you, Don.
No?
I can't either.
How about now?
Yeah, good.
That's better.
We're start all over?
Yeah, can you start over? I didn't hear most of
Okay.
it. Sorry.
All right, so the last meeting, our last meeting was September 2nd.
Oh, wait, it's again. I think you're moving your head away from whatever.
I don't know. Let me try moving my computer. Plus. Any better?
Hey, there you go.
Sounds good right there.
All right. Let's try it one more time. We all know when the last meeting was, right? September 2nd.
Oh, that sounds good.
The project so far is more or less on budget. We spent $30,455,606.40 today. They've been working on punch list items. They started out with about 1,000 punch list items and gotten it narrowed down to 70. And most of those items are evidently the ceiling tiles got nicked up pretty good during the moving phase. They are working on abatement and cleanup, and of course, finishing the gym. The project is about 85% complete. The old town hall abatement started, I believe it started last week. And the heavy demolition should start somewhere around the 21st of September. There was a little bit of discussion about the bleachers, the configuration of the bleachers, some concerns with the fire marshal, but I'm going to say I'm pretty confident that it can be worked out. There shouldn't be anything overwhelmingly difficult to resolve. That's still, to the best of my knowledge, still a work in progress. They're looking for a total finishing up of the project somewhere around, let me see if I can read this here. December 8th, I think it says. And if all goes well, they'll be done. They've got the demo to do, the parking to do, the final grading, landscaping, and punch list. Any questions?
I have one, Don.
What's that?
When I was there, I noticed that there isn't a handicap exit from the gym, like a ramp or anything. Is that, there's just the stairs to get up and out?
Being the emergency exit?
Yeah.
There is a parking spot to the left and to the right of the doors for a wheelchair, where wheelchairs, and I guess the plan would be to have people come down and evacuate those folks that can't get up the stairs.
Okay.
Am I right on that, Bill?
Yes, it meets the ADA federal requirements of, in any elevator situation in buildings in the cities, when there's a fire, persons in a wheelchair need a refuge center. They go to the refuge center, they park themselves, and the firemen come in and actually take them out of their wheelchairs and carry them down the stairs.
Okay.
This is 16 stairs exiting. Otherwise, I mean, that's only if you use that door, that southeast door. However, all the other doors are all handicap accessible.
Any other questions there, Don? If not, thanks, Don.
Okay.
Next is the Mill Pond Park renovation update.
I think we kind of talked about that already. So
Yeah.
We met last night, and the committee is going to, it's on the agenda. Carol Annis just let us know. It's on the agenda for Tuesday. Jay, if you're able to come, and Don as chairman and vice chairman, that'd be great.
I'm not vice chair. Oh, the committee. Okay, sorry.
You're vice chair of the committee, and Jay is the chairman of the Parks and Rec Board.
Is that going to be a Zoom meeting or?
Yes, it's Zoom.
Okay.
And they're usually at 7:00, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Carol?
Correct.
Yeah. So we're going to ask for $57,150, and that would pay for 3 different contractors to do several different kinds of surveying work, geotech work, pinning the corners, et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of where we're at. If any commission or any council in the future ever wants to fix the pool, they're going to need to have this information anyway. So it's money well spent, well used. Anybody that wants to come and support in Zoom, or write letters or do whatever you want to do to support, call your favorite council people. They're welcome to come for that Tuesday.
Any other questions? Okay, let's move on to the dog park newspaper article, Bill.
Okay. I was kind of surprised by a Life magazine, big giant article about putting a dog park at Mill Pond Park. It was done by a man that lives across the street and wants to have behind the tennis courts at Mill. I reached out to him. He was supposed to write an email requesting your consideration. That didn't happen, but I did have lengthy conversations over hours with him, trying to explain a few things. One, I couldn't recommend a dog park at Mill Pond next to tennis courts when tennis is kind of a quiet sport where you say shh when they're serving, and having dogs barking wouldn't make a lot of sense to me. Second thing was, I can't recommend it for the fact that in our master plan, that's one of the entryways with a big entrance to the park, to the nature trails and the walking paths. So that didn't make sense to me. But lastly, the nail in the coffin that I found out is that it's in a upland wetlands review area of 100 feet from Mill Pond. So it's not really recommended to put a fence in a wetlands area, since if there's a storm and debris is coming, you shouldn't have permanent fencing to stop the debris to cause trouble. So it would be my professional recommendation not to do that. Now, I had a conversation at about 3:30, 4 o'clock with Keith Chapman today, and he wishes for me to pursue the building of a dog park at Young Farm. For those of you who've been around long enough, 5 years ago, when we had Dr. Ellen Leonard, she donated $5,000 for the dog drinking fountain at Mill. She was also willing to put in money towards a dog park. And then I wrote a grant for to Petco for $25,000. At the time, I didn't know when you write a grant that you're supposed to get permission to write a grant. So anyways, that fell apart and we never pursued it after that. So Keith is interested in having a dog park at Young Farm. And so I guess I bring it to the commission to say, do you guys support that idea also? And should we move forward?
I like that idea. People are kind of use it as a dog park anyways.
Yep.
We can make it official.
Yep. Yeah, they're not cheap. They're probably, $85,000 to $100,000, because it's like an acre of property of fencing, and then you have a fence in the middle, little dogs on one side, big dogs on the other. You need a double gating system, you need water, and you need shade, and you need obstacles for the dogs to jump over on and through and all that stuff. So it's not cheap, but many towns have them. It would take a pretty good thought process of rules and regulations. And I don't think you're going to get support from the dog. What did they call them in the police department? Dog warden, not dog warden. What's that?
Canine?
Yeah, the canine, not the canine, but the dog wardens. I think they're kind of like cops.
Animal control.
Animal control. That it is. Thank you. I've talked to them before, not recently, but before, and they find it nothing but aggravation for them, because it's dogs fight, dogs bite each other, blah blah blah. So
does that impact our town insurance or something at all for having a dog park in town?
Yeah, our insurance is as you use it and how many claims you have against it. So, people say to me, how about the skate park? That must drive your insurance way up. Well, when you talk to Jeff Barron, he'll tell you that we haven't gotten one claim at the skate park. So it had no negative impact on the insurance. Pools are life and death, and knock on wood, we haven't had a claim there either. So the answer is yes, it would if people made claims against the town, but just putting up a dog park, I think the simple answer is, and I'm not an insurance expert, but my understanding is that it doesn't really negatively impact you.
Bill, what would it do to our other projects that we have? Like, would it move things down on the CIP list, or we're always looking for an arm and a leg for Mill Pond, and if we're going to go ask for another arm for a dog park, does that, I don't know. What happens?
Yeah, I think number one, I think the council and Keith are revamping the CIP system, or the way things are done. And second of all, I think it'd be up to the council on what, where's their priorities once you guys make a recommendation of what you want.
Yeah, I guess my question would be, if we are recommending going forward with the dog park, does that mean we favor that more than Mill Pond renovation, or does that come second to Mill Pond renovation, or how are our priorities looked upon if we say, sure, go ahead?
Yeah.
And do we get to prioritize it and present it, or somebody else prioritizes it for us.
I wondered.
Yeah, you know,
You prioritize it, right, Bill?
me, with your guidance, you know, I try to read the tea leaves, right, and say, what's the consensus of the board? If you're asking me, is it higher than Mill Pond Park? No, absolutely not.
No, I agree with you.
Is it higher than making another baseball field? No. Not, is it putting lights up? No. But if my boss says he wants it,
It's on the
it might
list.
change. It might change my thinking a lot. You know, so I don't know. You want to just keep moving forward, maybe not take an official vote.
Bill, I have a question on that Demi Farm. On when that land was donated, would we be in any violation by putting a dog park in there?
That's the greatest part about Facebook is there's people say that there's stipulations and it can only be open space and all that. There's not one stipulation on the deed, to my knowledge. James and I looked at that already.
So Bill, if you go back and you say that we are concerned that our priorities will be not understood if we support this, is that going to be okay?
You know, I can be, you know, I have a good relationship with Keith. I can explain to him that the commission isn't opposed to a dog park, but they don't want to make it something where it's a lower priority, and you don't want to take away from Mill Pond Park or some of our bigger projects.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Call from unknown.
Whose is that?
I don't know.
Is that the consensus of the commission? Because then I want to misrepresent you.
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Jay, you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. All right. Could we have Lyric vote and Isaac vote on this one?
Yeah.
No, just for the record, guide dog people, guide dog handlers would never bring a dog to a dog park. So don't let anyone on Facebook say we're doing a dog park because Bill DeMayo has a dog. Just for the record.
Okay, gotcha. Any other discussion, guys and girls? Okay, let's move on to D, the daffodil bulb distribution.
Okay.
Wait, we don't have to make a motion about the dog park thing at all? It's just discuss.
We
kinda
just discussed it.
right
I
now-
don't think we don't
Yeah,
need
right
a
now I
motion, do we?
I threw it on as reports, so it's not an official new business.
Yeah.
I think let me have a discussion with Keith and see, where he wants to go with it.
Okay.
But I think I've got your sentiments of you're okay with it, but it's not a high priority compared to other things we're doing. Okay. Daffodils. Daffodils is, again, I kind of slid over that quickly with Eileen's 150th anniversary, but big thanks to Stonehenge for donating 5,000 bulbs at cost. And we have a plan put together, and I didn't check today's computer system, but we were up to like 123 families have registered COVID-free online at Parks and Rec. They get 5 free bulbs. I think they're coming in maybe tomorrow. Our staff is going to put them in baggies with 5 bulbs each. These are hardy landscape type bulbs, and they'll have directions on it, and it'll have a Parks and Rec little logo and a 150th little logo on the directions of how to plant them. And then the Parks and Recreation division, the flower division, purchased 500 of them, and we're going to plant them this fall all over government buildings, firehouses, senior center, library, town hall, schools, etc. So in the spring, we'll have a statement of, a pretty nice statement of yellow daffodils coming up in celebration of the 150th, and something that is kind of a COVID-free project. We've got 2 senior citizens volunteering and 4 committee members volunteering from the 150th. and we'll have some of our staff, and we'll go to the library, the chapel at the cemetery. We'll have a drive in the circle, take a right. You open up your passenger window, you say your last name, and we throw the baggie in there, and they go around the circle, and we will call or email everyone through our rec track system and tell them each half hour. So like last name A through E will be from 5 to 5:30. F through so-and-so will be from 5:30 to 6, etc. And Wednesday, September 30th, we'll get all the bulbs distributed, and it'll be a fun project for the 150th to put their name on.
Hopefully, what people will realize is that this is part of a beautification project, and because there's only 5 bulbs, maybe it'll give them the impetus to go out and buy a few more. I remember during the 125th, there were a whole ton of daffodils around town, and so hopefully people will, it'll give them a little shot in the arm to buy some more for their homes, and it'll make a difference. It'll be a good beautification project for the town.
Any other discussion? If not, let's move on to E, which is the children's Halloween party. This ought to be interesting.
Yeah. Well, after the governor's announcement yesterday, the Halloween party has been canceled, and the Scarecrow party has been canceled.
Can't do it outside, Bill?
Yeah, we knocked it around. It just seems like we're going to be touching candy and touching bags, and it's going to be hard to keep those young kids in within social distancing. I don't think, as Charlie Brown would say, I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on to F, Mill Pond and Churchill Park pool maintenance update. Bill?
Okay. We're working with Tom LaPierre, our pool mechanic, and Clay, myself, and this guy from Custom Aquatics, an expert. And we're trying to hunt down the problem to Churchill. And as I explained at last night's meeting, we have been working diligently over the last 3-4 weeks. As soon as we closed the pool, second week of August. So what we just did lately, the last 8 days, is we filled the pool up, and I wanted to know if I could determine where it was leaking. So the first night it dropped 8 inches, and it went past the skimmers. Then the next day it dropped down another 8 inches, and it went past the fill pipes. Then the next day 8 inches, and it went by the return pipes. So then I said, man, maybe it's the expansion joints on the walls, and then it dropped 8 inches again. So short story, it went all the way down to the deep end of Churchill. So what I can determine so far, my best guess, is that it's got to be the drain covers or mechanisms, or worse yet, it could be the drain pipe that goes from the bottom of the pool 13 or 14 feet deep to the pool house. So today we cut the pool house pipe inside the pool house in the basement, and we shot a camera up. Facilities has a camera. We couldn't see anything of unusual in the piping system, so we're going to go the other route tomorrow, hopefully, and go from the pool to the pool house. And we're trying to go do process of elimination. If it's the underground pipe, you could be talking $80,000 to $100,000 to fix. If it's just the drain mechanisms, maybe in the thousands range. So stay tuned on that one. We're still working on it. The game plan is to try to get 1 or 2 pools open next summer so that the town doesn't have a black eye. Elected officials, town, our board, everything. As Mill Pond, when I met with him Wednesday in my office with everyone, his words were, Mill Pond pool is deplorable. So he said it's worse than Churchill. It's when he pulls the paint, the concrete comes with it. So what's happened is the chlorine water has infiltrated the concrete, and so what we would have to do is do some spot patching. You would saw cut big chunks. When you hit a hammer on the walls or the floor of mill, you hear a hollow sound, and then it crumbles. So what we would do is cut out big squares, put a little key lock in it. What we used to do in my former job, you put a key lock, and then you pour a hydraulic cement, and then you patch paint it. And you just do as much as you can in the spring as you possibly can to kind of temporarily open the pool. So, so far, that's my investigation. Getting back to Churchill Park, it makes perfect sense now for me. If the drain pipe is no good, that explains why the darn sides aren't caving in or nothing's caving in. That's because the water's going out to the sewer pipes, to the MDC, which is somewhat, as crazy as this sounds, it might be a good thing. So that's where we are. I'll keep you posted. We're continuing to work with this Custom Aquatics, and we'll have a better handle and better ideas in the very near future.
Well, as we discussed last night, you estimated 102,000 gallons of water seeped out of that pool, correct?
I think 120 in 4 days.
Yeah.
Yep.
At a cost of around $40,000.
40,000 was the total we spent on water. My estimation for Churchill Pool.
Wow.
Yeah, we filled it 4 times. Yeah.
Bill, are you guys? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Eileen.
I have a question about the drain covers. Weren't they replaced not that long time ago because they had to change them by law because of kids' little strings or something get caught in there and somebody drown or something?
Yeah, maybe 8 years ago, they came up with these drain covers. Maybe I shouldn't have. I simplified it too much. The drains themselves have a mechanism that are check valve. Yeah, that's what you saw. What you're talking about is just like an umbrella cover to keep. Yeah, to keep kids' intestines and stuff not being sucked down, and you have an air valve and blah blah blah. These things have 12 check valves in every single drain. It's about maybe 2 feet, 3 feet in under the concrete when you have your drain pipe go to the pool. So that's my hope is that's what's wrong, because that would be an easy fix.
All right, that makes more sense.
Bill,
yeah,
are you guys able to isolate each? You said there's 12. Maybe that's an exaggeration. Maybe there's only 8 or 10. But are you able to like plug each one individually, like with a rubber? I don't know what they're called, but we use them in Berlin. They're like the size of a basketball, and they got like a screw in there, and you tighten it up, and it
blows.
It blows up. Yeah, fattens. So if you could fatten them all up, and then by process of elimination, okay, this one's not and start. Maybe there's only 1 or 2 bad, and not the whole drainage system.
Well, it's only one. It's what I'm talking about is the main drain, Billy. I'm down to a 6-inch cast iron main drain, and what happens what happens is the cast iron flakes from the inside. Yep. With chlorine is an oxidizing agent, right? So once you take the water out and it's empty for the whole year, the oxidation flakes the inside of a cast iron pipe and ultimately corrodes it after 60 years.
Yep.
And the worst part about it is it's the deepest darn pipe there is, 13, 14 feet deep. We hope it's a straight shot and that there's no 90 degree, 45 degree turns.
Yeah. Okay.
But what I plan to do, if that's the problem, my game plan is to do like the MDC did on Cedar Street, and you blow this machine through the pipes and it seals the inside of the pipe. It relines it.
Yeah, relines it.
Yeah. So that would be my idea if that ends up being what we think it's going to be.
Bill, I got one other question, Jay, again.
Yep.
I know we talked last night about Mill Pond, and you were discussing how the chlorine people will no longer deliver chlorine to Mill Pond. So what would we do?
So what I'm working on now is getting a dry chlorine. I'm switching. Well, let me just fill in the commission. So our discussion was, there's some people on the committee that thought maybe we should keep the pool in the same location at Mill Pond. And there's a lot of reasons why you wouldn't do it. Custom aquatics experts say, he says to me, you made a mistake once. Why would you make a mistake twice and put it in the wrong spot? It has hydrostatic pressure. The pond pushes the water up. We've got cracks all over the thing, and pond water comes in when we don't fill Mill Pond with clean water. So we try to push clean water, push pressure against the pond water, and it keeps it out of the pool. That's one thing. Second thing is, environmentally, it's not, rules and laws have changed, right? So Salvo is our liquid chlorine people, and they sent us a letter in the beginning of the summer saying, we've changed our policies. Anybody near ponds like this, we're not interested in serving you. Your business isn't worth our liability of having a liquid chlorine spill and having a fish kill in the pond. So what we did was we went into a process of trying to look for dry powder chlorine system, and we leased a system that would be big enough to fit and be able to be moved into a new pool if we were to build one at Mill. So that's the temporary fix on that one, Jay.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions of Billy? If not, let's move on to G, pool attendance.
I'm not sure if Nick, did he give us a report on how many people came to Churchill?
I didn't see it.
Okay. I guess I can verbally just tell you that we were pleasantly surprised when we had people only register on the computer. You only got 2 hours, and then you had to get out and we cleaned the place. But in the 6 short weeks, my recollection is that we had over 8,000 visits, and that's not with the 14 or 15,000 picnickers this year, and it's not with swimming lessons, and it's not with summer camp. So we normally get about 18 to 21,000 visits in 8 weeks. So in 6 weeks, having over 8,000, I thought that was pretty impressive. What I did learn that I would have never guessed and never bet on is that so many seniors, even though we discouraged over 65 from coming out of the house, we had tons and tons of seniors using that pool and sending us thank you letters and stopping me on the street, thanking us for giving them something to do. So, and that goes also with the other thing I learned about COVID-19 is that the municipal concerts in the Mill Pond concerts were just something that people looked forward to each week. And it was the only thing that got them out of the house and stopped their depression. And then thirdly, I would have never guessed, thanking Tim and Carol Annis and the council for funding it, but the skate park, I would have never dreamt in a million years how many people were begging to get on that skate park during the COVID-19 closure of the parks. So those were 3 things I learned during COVID-19 that were very eye-opening and really pretty impressive.
Okay, next would be pavilion rentals, Bill?
The what rentals?
Pavilion.
Just that they're not as big. We didn't do as many as we did last year. And every time the rules, first of all, was illegal, then it was legal, then it was 25, then it was 50, and now it's 100. So it's picking up a little bit, but, picnic pavilion rentals were, obviously a lot lower.
Any questions of Bill on that? Next would be the fall program guide.
Yeah, we have the fall program guide went out, but it's all based on if COVID-19 is okay. It looks like we're able to do less than 25 people inside, say like for yoga classes and exercise classes and things like that. We're going to make all the go by all the governor's rules in regards to indoor basketball. We're trying to make plans if things don't get worse. You can have 25 people. So we would have 9 youth basketball players on each team, 2 coaches, and then they can have 1 parent and they can socially distance 6 feet apart, masks on the bench. But we'll go by all the rules as they change every day and try to make the best of this thing. there might be a time when I have to pull the trigger and say nothing, we might have nothing, but we're going to do the best we can with what the rules are and keeping very close contact with what our professional colleagues are doing in all the other towns too. And, we'll keep you abreast of what's happening, but we're doing the best we can every minute of the day.
Do we have any comments from any of the board members for Bill or anybody else?
Has there been any word when the town hall is going to open?
Definitely won't open until the glass windows are put in. Keith made that statement that he's ordering glass windows where the garage, I call them garage doors, but there's these service doors that roll up to you to see the secretary and have contact with them. They're now putting in glass windows to stop, the spread of the germ.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Good.
We don't have any public participation, correct?
That is correct. We have nobody on for the attendees.
With that situation, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn. It's Eileen.
Jen was
Second.
second. Jen was second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for this evening's meeting.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
you.
Have a nice
Good
night.
night, everybody.
Yeah.
See you all later.
Bye.